need to start so that you can learn, so you can screw up, make a mistake, be better, improve over time. Hey guys, Brandon here. Welcome to my new vlog series. In this series, we're going to be talking a bit more about my entrepreneurial journey, how it led to running my own creative agency, and what I learned along the way to get to a place where I now no longer have to work another 9 to 5. So the whole point of why I decided to pursue entrepreneurship was because I never liked school. It never worked for me. I always wanted to go outside, play baseball, play video games, and just get creative. So I never accepted the traditional school model. So if you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Brandon. I am an entrepreneur from Queens, and I love to make mistakes. That's kind of my thing. We are fortunate to be able to make mistakes. So in this particular series, I want to pull back the curtain a little bit more on my entrepreneurial journey, on Superwell, which is my creative agency, on my entire life as it relates to pursuing entrepreneurship to escape the 9 to 5 desk life, working in offices for really toxic people. That is really what I've realized is my motivation. So what I want to do is launch this series and just talk about the ways that I coped with dealing with those negative environments, but also why it was so valuable to dive head first in the first place, so that I could know for certain that traditional 9 to 5 office life was not for me. So in this video, this first episode, we are going to be talking a bit more about how I made that transition when I felt I was ready, what I'm doing now, and what you can do as a solo entrepreneur who is interested in maybe launching your own creative agency or just launching a new company to feel more comfortable getting to that stage where you just go for it. So let's get started. What is Superwell? So to start, Superwell is an agency. It's a creative studio. I was a photographer for a few years. I shot photos here in New York City, worked with a lot of restaurants in particular. That was really my first solo non-office gig, not including summer camp, which was its own crazy adventure. Shooting photography is something I really enjoyed. I had a fancy camera and I loved being behind the scenes in restaurants, meeting the chefs, the owners, the staff, learning about the recipes, and just eating, if I'm being honest. No, it was very fulfilling. I'm from Queens, New York, so if you don't know, Queens is one of the most culturally diverse places on planet Earth. A lot of different cuisine from around the world is represented, and both of my parents loved to cook, worked in restaurants. So I wanted to legitimize the business I was doing with photography, and I needed a name to get started because I'm the type of entrepreneur, and let me know in the comments if you're similar, but I'm the type of entrepreneur that won't really get started with the work itself until I have a cool name, a logo, colors, all that stuff, because it will give me more confidence to actually go for it. Now, at age 35, I am definitely more focused on the content of the product or the service that I'm building, either for myself or for my clients, for our clients, and then focusing on the bells and whistles, the wrapping. I launched Superwell to be the company that represented me and the work that I was doing with the clients that I was working with. And it started as a photography brand. And over time, it expanded into videography, shooting short form, reels, TikToks for restaurants. Really just something that I could use as a brand name so that when I meet new clients or I'm talking to potential clients, I can say we instead of I. Because when you are talking with a potential client, customer, someone that you want to work with, it's so important and it's really strong to actually say like, hey, you're not just working with me, you're working with we, you're working with us. So when I say, hey, when you work with Superwell, not hey, when you work with me. Right now, here's what Superwell is doing. We have worked with a few different brands to create their brand story films. Essentially, this is a package that we offer clients to really make their own commercial, or better, their first impression to the world. So it's video based, it talks about, or rather shows, who launched this company, like who brought this concept to life, who should care the most about it, meaning their target audience, their customers that they're trying to reach, what the product or service actually is so that you can see it in action and see all the benefits, and usually where it's based. So if it's a New York City based company like mine, we're gonna show some B-roll of New York City, kind of like this. So that is essentially a brand story film, and we've made a few of them up to this point, and that is a featured package that we're working with right now, that we're promoting as we meet new clients. In addition to videography, Superwell also does offer photography. Of course, this was one of the first skills that I ever picked up. Every now and then we'll throw in a photography package for a video client, or I myself will just shoot some photography for a client, again, representing Superwell. I named it Superwell for a few reasons. The first is Gary Vaynerchuk. And if you're watching this, if you're an entrepreneur, it's likely you've heard of him, or Gary V. I discovered Gary V back in 2015 when I had my first job as a menswear apprentice, if you can believe it. My first real job, it was an internship or an apprenticeship in DC with a really cool menswear company. And it was there where I learned how to sell to customers online, offline, how to work with social media, how to fold shirts. It was super fulfilling. I was there for about a year. About a year? Yeah, it was like 10, 11 months. Let's call it a year. And when I discovered Gary V, I noticed that he used the term Superwell a lot. So when somebody would ask him in his content, when he'd be doing interviews, he would say, or someone would say, hey, how you doing? And he would go, super well, how about you? And that just stuck with me. It was different than like, good, or like, good and you? That was the first reason. The other reason was that I wanted to come up with a name for this agency, for this team, this creative team, that represented the quality of work that we deliver. So when we deliver work, it's done super well, or it's made super well. The sign off for my signature and our team's signature: speak soon and stay super well. So that is why I came up with the name Superwell. The vision for Superwell, again, where I see it in the next, I don't know, like 3 to 5 years. I see Superwell as being a much larger team, not just myself and our 1099 contractors, creating stories globally. The brand stories that we tell right now are done exclusively in the United States, though we are talking with some clients who do have operations outside of the United States. I would love to go back to Japan, so I'm actively trying to find some work in Japan, which would be super fun. I do see Superwell being a team that works globally and just interacts with brands and talented people who are telling really, really cool stories and having us capture that on camera, on film. I see us doing more commercial work, more high-end content, but I also see Superwell as being a creative network of other entrepreneurs who don't necessarily know how to work a camera, who just want to come together, share, collaborate, maybe an incubator of sorts. And yeah, business-wise, like any business, hopefully we do well enough to grow our client list, grow our team. Personally, I would love to create jobs. Being someone who had a lot of jobs for short amounts of time, I was let go, I was fired, companies just kind of fell apart. I want to be able to have a brand, an agency that actually offers jobs and career opportunities that have a lot of potential and stability, which is something that's not guaranteed. Given the goals that we have for Superwell, again, notice I said we, not I feel like if we just keep doing what we're doing, we will be able to open up a lot of jobs. With that being said, if you are watching this right now and you're a talented content creator, you're interested in sales, send me a message here on YouTube, on Instagram, TikTok, wherever. And just like tell me what you're working on. If you saw our work, if you're interested in working with me early in my career, a lot of the most interesting, or rather a lot of the best people that I've met always said like, hey, let's meet for a coffee. Or hey, if you have any questions, if you want to learn more about my company, let's just like meet. And I always really appreciated that because they would invite me without expecting anything in return. So yeah, would love to hear from you. So if you are an entrepreneur, meaning you are somebody who wants to forge your own path, you don't want to work for somebody else, you're sick of toxic jobs and toxic environments, and you just want to be a leader, you want to build something of your own, something you've been passionate about for a while, here's my advice. Do it. Don't wait for permission, because there are 10 billion different ways to launch a business. There are 10 billion different ideas, products, and services. You're gonna get advice from a lot of different people, and I suggest you keep doing that. Keep asking questions, keep learning. But you're not going to learn more than you will by just starting early, probably making a lot of mistakes, but learning so much. And the best mistakes will stick with you forever so that you don't make them again. I suggest, one, of course, if you haven't already, definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel, because we're gonna be talking about all the different ways to get your brand, your new business idea up off the ground, ready to go so that you can start making sales and escape the 9-to-5 life forever. If you have any questions at all, put them down in the comments below. I'm gonna answer everybody. You can also send me a DM on Instagram at brandambassador. You can send me an email at brandon@superwellstudios.com. This is episode 1. Really hope you enjoyed it. See you next time on vlog number 2.